face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. Amazing. Brand new biblical question. And this one is a doozy. The more you learn about yourself, the more you're going to realize what you did not know, right? You didn't know. You thought you knew, you thought that was it. It ain't it. It ain't it. So this one is a real doozy. They all are doozies, but this is a doozy. Brand new biblical question. Do you have morals and values? If so, where do they come from? Do you have morals and values? If so, where do they come from? Where do you get them? You ever thought about that? Amazing. It is an amazing question. If you really, really examine yourself, all right? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com. It's amazing to me, and I understand it. I'm using the word amazing, but not without understanding. Working on yourself, most people are not going to make it. It's so easy to get stuck in the intellect for those who do try. That's not even funny. And then there are those who may try for a minute, and they get this is too hard, too tired. And they go back to the old ways. And then those who pretend to try, it's just a short act for a day. Really, it's interesting to me to see that. It's just so interesting. To some people, it means everything. They're going to go all the way with it. Once they get a taste of freedom, they're like so committed, men and women, and they'll go all the way with it, but most won't. Amazing. Anyway, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, doing what you're doing, working out, running, walking, jogging, or getting stuck in some stupid marathon traffic. It's amazing to me that they do marathon stuff in your neighborhoods, and they don't care how inconvenient it is for you. They just want what they want to do, as long as they feel good running in a marathon, and they just tell everybody, I'm a marathon runner. They don't care if you can't get out of your driveway.
What the?
You can't get to church. You can't get to the hospital. You can't. It's all about, the ego is a mess. The ego is pure, deeply evil, and it only cares about itself. Isn't that amazing? But anyway, If you're out and about, you can still listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And you can podcast the show later. Support us on social media. Like, follow, ring the bell, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe. And whatever. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Also, you can subscribe and follow the JLP Radio Network on YouTube and Instagram. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Run, don't walk. All right? So it's Monday again, believe it or not. It's Monday. I don't know where the weekend goes. I don't know where time goes, but something going on. I also noticed that in LA, the daylight is longer now. When I become president, I'm going to lock that in so they can't change it anymore. It should be longer daylight, short nights. I like daylight. I don't like night. And it's nice to have daylight. It'd be like 6 or 7 o'clock and it's still daylight. But anyway, it's getting that way in LA again for a minute. Anyway, it's Monday. And for the new listeners, you might not be aware that every Monday is Female Monday. And what we do, we take the female calls. We take all calls, right? All calls. But the female, when they call in, we take them. Monday is Female Monday.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Yep. When I think of the idea of females taking over, I cringe. I really do, because I now understand the evil. Evil is already upon the earth through people, of course, but it's only going to get worse because the evil comes through the female. The female is the gates of hell. Females are the gates of hell. And when I think of the setup in my country, and there is a lot of focus, or some focus, on the race issue. That's another setup. No such thing as racism, sexism, homophobia-ism, Allahu-Abba-ism, Debbie-Dad-ism, white supremacism, anti-Semitism. No ism, right? And so the people focuses on that. But the focus has been taken away from the fact that females are being put into a position of decision-making in government, schools, homes, businesses, military, police, wherever they're putting them everywhere. And most people don't see, most people do not see that. That's a setup. That is being done intentionally. It's intentionally being done so that America and the world, but my country first, right? America would never be America again. It would never return to norm. Isn't that amazing? It's not going to happen. And it's so amazing to see it, and nobody really talk about it. And y'all think, and it is, y'all think that it's bad that the liberal white woman, when they're in charge, is held to. But you ain't seen hell yet. They're putting these radical, liberal, black females in charge. They're putting these females in charge, and these black female souls are dead. Dead to God, dead to men, dead to children, and dead to America. And their only mission is to destroy. And somebody is making sure that they're put in positions where they can destroy. It's mind-blowing to see it. And they know that these black females don't care about the white Republican, male or female, nor even the liberal ones, really, but they pretend with them until somebody says something or does something they don't like. But they don't. They know that these black females can care less, and they're going to walk all over the white male Republicans and females. White Republican female. Look at everything. Look at the female DAs and all that kind of stuff. What do you see? Pure hell. Somebody somewhere. Now, I know the devil is in all the details, but there's like a big devil. And that big devil is ruling over the people or person who is putting these people into these positions. And the one thing I can promise you, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's going to get worse. Are these black females? Their hearts are cold. Even the ones in the churches, not just in government. They're putting these females in charge of the churches, judges, everything. And they know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. And when the Republicans try to stand up to them, you can't talk to a black female like that. That is meant to scare you down. The devil is a mess. And then the men are so weak, they're just afraid of the women. They're already afraid of their mothers. These are white and black and Mexicans and Japanese, Chinese, They're already afraid of their mothers. And so they already have that fear of the spirit of the woman, which is evil. Women have no love. They only have hate. And when they come up against these people, they can't handle it. And so hell on earth, which is inside of human beings, but the hell is right here on earth, it's going to only get worse. But I have good news for you, too. If you overcome the hell that's inside of your mind and emotions, all the emotions are hell. The fake love emotion and the fake hate emotion. If you overcome it within yourself, then you'll be able to live on this earth where hell is, inside of others. You'll be able to live on it in peace. But if you don't, you won't be able to handle it. You're going to be on drugs. You're going to be depressed. You're going to have suicidal thoughts. You're going to be looking for love. You're going to have what they call post-traumatic something syndrome. Or whatever they put the name of it, it's going to be all evil. And the cleverness and the cunning of the mind is mind-blowing to me. When Christ or God said, bring every thought into captivity, every thought, he meant it. Because when you bring those thoughts into captivity, emotion goes too. Here's what I recommend. If you feel something about anything, anyone, good or bad, look and see what thought you're having. Just that little clue will help you along if you want to work on yourself. If not, stay in your hell. Really, just stay in your hell. And blame God. Stay in your hell and blame God. Waiting on God, waiting on God. He's waiting on you. Stay in your hell. You can stay there because everybody that has anger is in their hell. Really. There's not one that is not catching hell. And they're going to try to pass their hell onto you. And they'll switch on you like nothing going north. In a glit, one disagreement, you quickly become their enemy. They make you their enemies. It's mind-blowing. I would tell my producer out there in the office there, the more you understand, the more you realize what you did not know. The intellect is not going to teach you this at all, but it will jam you up to make you think you know. And I realized that anger is evil, folks. Anger is hatred, and hatred separates you from God, and Satan become your God. You take on his nature, and everything about you is that, even when you're pretending that it's not. It is we talked yesterday in the fellowship. The fellowship people are lazy. They don't do the assignment. They're lazy. It ain't going to come easy. I'm trying to help them by pointing them. I can't help them personally, right? I got to work on me. I ain't got time to try to help nobody. But even if I could, I can't. Nobody can help anyone. And every little help you think you're doing, you're making it worse. But anyway, I gave them an assignment. They didn't do the assignment. They didn't remember. What the? It's interesting. I want to encourage you. You got to let anger, you should let anger go if you want to be. Anger is hatred. And they changed the word from hatred to resentment to anger because they said hatred sounds too bad. And it is bad. It's like changing the name from illegal aliens to what do they call it now? Newcomers or something? Newcomers. They ain't no newcomers. You got murderers and rapists and drug dealers and gang members and everything coming in, and now they call them newcomers. Oh, we're welcome. No, doesn't newcomer sound so nice? We sound worse. Illegal aliens or newcomers. We're supposed to sound bad. The newcomers or illegal aliens? You know what I said? It's supposed to sound bad, not cute. That's right. Newcomers. And then they call the homeless people in LA, at least, they call the homeless people, what do they call them? People experiencing homelessness? It sounded cuter than that. Oh, yeah, the unhoused. In LA, they're calling the homeless people now the unhoused. The devil are using these people to change the devil to make it sound easy and pretty. And every time you change the name, you get further from the truth. And that little Karen Bass, the so-called mayor of the city of LA, I debated her before. What up? mess. The unhoused, she tweeted that out, I'm told. When she posted that on her tweet. Bring our unhoused neighbors inside, she wrote. The devil using her. Y'all may not know this, but I promise you, evil is working through all of us. Every human being, not one. Your mind and emotions is that of evil. It's not even real love. If you can't see it now, you just don't want to. If you can't see it now, you just don't want to. The unhoused, the newcomers, for the illegals, and the unhoused for the homeless. If you don't overcome anger, the devil, his spirit, it ain't post-traumatic, it ain't all this stuff they're telling you. You're possessed. The sooner you see it, the sooner you can start working on it and overcome it. But if you don't see it, you're going to be in this prison making some dumb and stupid mistakes. And the one thing I want to tell you, trust no one. I don't want to get too deep into that this week because just to see if the people at fellowship going to do anything. But I want to give you an example of what anger, and this is like a little extreme, but even you can go to the market, the supermarket, right? And walk up and down the aisles and try to figure out what you want to get. And then you get something or you don't get something, and on your way home, the devil start working on you. Why you didn't get this? Well, you got this. You really don't want it. Why didn't get that? And you can't get into sleep that night for thinking about that. Waiting on God, waiting on God. He waiting on you.
Amazing.
You could be free or you could stay in your hell. I want to give you an example of what anger will do because anger is evil. This is from the New York Post. Talk about the wrong way to protest. This is from the New York Post. A New Jersey father has been arrested after walking into a high school classroom to yell at a teenage boy, demanding that the boy apologize to his daughter. Watch this from X.
I was surprised. I thought it could have definitely been handled differently.
It shows a parent on Monday who was supposed to be picking up his child entering into a classroom at the high school and immediately confronting a student.
I didn't know to it.
The criminal complaint identifies the parent as Aaron Thomas of Gibbstown. The video goes on to show Thomas going back and forth with a student, who Thomas is heard in the video saying was allegedly bothering his daughter. Moments later, it appears that an adult tries to intervene and calm the situation down, when things quickly escalated again, with Thomas then beginning to argue with another student in the classroom. Thomas is being charged with several offenses, which include entering in an unauthorized section of the school, threatening to punch and knock out a student, and also committing assault, specifically by grabbing the student's arm and getting in his face.
Amazing. That man, if it's true, allegedly he did that because he was angry. And anger makes you do some stupid stuff. Anger will cause you to see sunlight as nightlight. Your whole everything changes if you have anger. And that man, if he not gotten angry, I guarantee you he would have dealt with that situation in a different manner. I had a call from a young lady a while back, said that her husband went up to the school. I don't know if she said the school or the taco burger place or somewhere, and tried to fight with some kids because they met with his kid. And they end up beating him up here in the hospital. And she said that they had gone up and talked to the teacher and everybody. No one did anything about it. The second thing should have been, well, I'll just take my kid out of the school. That's it. And even the teachers are afraid to get involved now. They don't want to, these kids are beat up the teacher. All evil, all anger. Amazing. Even the Christian, dumb as they are, think that Jesus had the kind of human anger they have. Jesus was angry, so they hold on to evil, calling it Jesus. They have brought Jesus down to their level. That's the game, the trick that Satan is playing on them. And most people don't want to believe that anger is evil. Anger blinds you. It causes you to go unconscious, meaning that you can't see. You can't even see when you're wrong. You can't even see that you're upset. Or if you saw it, you justify it by blaming somebody else that you're upset. Your upsetness is inside of you. Nobody else has anything to do with that, except your mama when you were a kid, and your father for not protecting you from your mama. But as an adult, you're responsible. And you blame others thinking that they make you feel something. Can you get any dumber? No one can make you feel anything that's not already in you. You have already chosen death. Choose life. Why not choose life? One other I want to play really fast. I've said over and over again that children are screwed up in the homes. 99.999%, not all, but 0.9999%. 99.999% of the time in the home by the mothers, because the fathers are too weak to protect the children from the mothers. They either married to their mama or they're involved with the mama. The woman they're involved with is mama, and they ain't get over mama, so they're afraid of the same thing. So they let the kids suffer. And when the kids grow up to become gang members and thugs, they blame it on racism. They don't say that, well, the mama did that to them. They say it was racism. Or they'll blame the father. I'm about to show you a sad commentary of what I'm talking about from medicalnewstoday.com. We don't have time. Okay. It's best to wait. We don't have time to play it. Tisha, please. You're going to want it after this one. Tisha, please. That's what Oprah said when she be trying to boo-hoo about everything. Tisha, please. Let me go to Rachel, a first-time caller out of Florida. Rachel, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Rachel?
Yes.
You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Rachel. Thanks for calling.
I've been listening to you, and I don't know, I feel spiritually blessed to have found you this morning. And I definitely agree about the anger thing. I'm a recovering alcoholic for about 14 years, and one of the things we do is
Rachel, do me a kind favor. Just hold on. Let me take a quick break. I'll come right back to you after this break.
Okay.
All right. 888-7753. Folks, all of your troubles are inside of you. Nobody else to blame. And when you feel it's something, Satan's going to tell you it's their fault, but it's not. Quick break. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. If you were not at the fellowship yesterday or didn't get a chance to catch it live online, you can go to rebuildingaman.com/church. Rebuildingaman.com and podcast. It was amazing. It was so interesting yesterday. I could have slapped my mama, but she did. It was so interesting. It was just so interesting to me. They all are, really, because I don't think people realize that as I'm up, quote unquote, teaching or talking, I'm learning. And the more you learn, the more you want. It's like the more you learn, the more you want. Can't get enough of understanding, baby. It's interesting. But podcast it. Rebuildingaman.com/church. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, Pacific time. The Hake report. Joel Friday, he black. He's sitting in again for Hake. Hake got to be out. And so Joel is sitting in again, getting that experience. Sitting in for the Hake report. And then after the Hake report, Joel Friday TV is coming up. All right? And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. Let me go 888-7753-773. Let me go quickly back to Rachel out of Florida, first time caller. Rachel, thank you for holding. So you were saying that you are a recovering alcoholic?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I do, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So one of the things that you do if you're a really serious alcoholic in recovery is go through a fourth step and go through all of your resentments, like you were talking about earlier. But one of the things that I discovered in doing that is that I've never really been angry in my entire life. It all came down to either having pain or fear of pain. And everything after that became self-defense, so my ego was involved. And so I built anger, which is not a true feeling, but it's the fear of pain or pain itself is the base emotion for everything. And that was a real eye-opener for me.
What type of pain?
Any emotional or physical. Yeah. But the reason that I called was you were talking about women, female, being evil, and and I agree with almost everything that you say, but I have a little trouble with that one because, like I said, I got an ego, and I'm a girl.
She's a lady.
But I love my mama, and she did teach me all my my morals.
I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl.
And I have a daughter, and she's precious too. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe I have a misunderstanding about that. Is there a difference in the spirit, like spirits themselves, male and female? Because I don't always, I do see it a lot in, especially like our government, public. There's some evil women out there, but there's also some good ones, like MTG and Terry Lake. Some wonderful women. So I kind of, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there, I guess. I see it both ways.
Okay.
So I'm kind of wondering if the balance is more of a spiritual gender. I don't know if that's a thing.
One thing for sure and without a doubt is that evil comes through the woman and it passes down to the children when they're very small and helpless and subject to the mother, the boys and the girls. And in that anger state that the woman is in, she turned the children away from the fathers and recreate them in her image. And the kids grow up hating the mothers, but they get this false feeling that feel like love, and they think they love the mother, but they really hate the mother. And it's hard for them to admit it because they're so emotional, and the devil tells them, oh, that's your mother. You got to hurt her feelings. She did the best she could for you. She bought you this and did you that. She was supposed to take care of you. She the one that had you. It was her and the father's responsibility, right? But the feelings, the emotions that you have, they come from anger. And ego is anger. Ego is hatred. But they changed it from hatred to resentment now to anger. They're going to change anger soon. But the anger, the emotion that you have is due to anger, and it comes from your mother. And that yearning that you have is a yearning for the father. It's not for alcohol. It's not for anything but the father. But instead of you knowing that and going and forgiving your mother, you turn to alcohol. But you hate your mother. You could bank on it. And what you have done, what your mother have done to you, you have done it to your daughter as well. You have no love.
Oh. Well, I'm working on this spiritually because what you're saying hurts, but on an emotional level, our dad was in the home, but he was very distant. But I've always believed that a child needs both parents. That's very, very important to me. So even in my own life, with the troubles that I've had with my relationships, making sure that my children has access to both parents at all time has been priority.
But it hasn't
even though
worked.
I'm sorry?
It hasn't worked, though.
Well,
when you say it hurt to hear the truth, what do you mean by that?
Well, I don't like to think of myself as being inherently evil just because I'm female.
Well, it's not just because you're female. It's because the seed, the spirit, the evil of Eve have been passed down to all women. And it's not you per se, but it's the spirit of evil that made a home in you when you became angry at your mother. So it's not you. It's this thing in you that's driving you to cause you to do the things you don't want to do. and prevent you from doing what you want to do, the right thing.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
You told her?
No, but apparently I need to.
Why haven't you told her if you? Why do you say you have forgiven her when you haven't gone to her and told her?
Well, I guess I just never realized that I needed to actually do that.
Yeah. And your father loved you. He just couldn't handle your mother, and he couldn't deal with you because you identified with your mother. And so you saw him and treated him the same way your mother was treating him, not understanding that your mother turned you away from him. You look at your father through your mother's eyes, not your own eyes. Your mother's evil.
Yeah, that's where I have a hard time. She's so precious.
And that's the worst kind of depression one.
Oh.
Because she makes you think she's just so sweet and nice. But you ask your father about her, and if you reflect, she was hell to pay. But she seems so humble and so sweet, so giving, so mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they had troubles in my teen years.
Yeah.
And I don't know all the details.
You should ask your father. Go to your father. Dad, what happened? Why was it so different for you to deal with her? What was it I wasn't seeing?
Yeah. Well, he died.
He did. Well, just realize that just like your husband could not handle you, your father, because you end up marrying a man that's just like your father, right, weak. And your father could not handle your mother, but your father loved you. Fathers love their children, and when fathers leave, they don't leave their children, they leave the mother, but the mother makes you think they left you.
They certainly can twist it, yeah.
And you mentioned, so you got to face your mother, you're going to shake in your boots, and she's going to play all nice and sweet. Let her play the game that she want to play in her own hell, but you apologize for look at those, see it first for yourself, that there were little, tell me a little irritating things that your mother would get on your nerve by at times. And you wish you would stopped.
Yeah. She will say things out of self-defense that on her emotional level probably seems very true to her. But in, like, the reality to the rest of the world, it's like, well, that's not exactly how that happened. But I think she's speaking out of self-defense.
No, she's speaking out of evil. She's protecting the devil in her.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see it that way. If we're talking about getting down to the very, very, spiritual cleanup, present this little dirty mess to Jesus and let's clean this out. I guess if we're getting down to that nitty-gritty, I can kind of see.
I promise
maybe women are just a little more deceptive.
They are. They're daughters of the devil. They're very cunning and deceiving. They know how to play the game. And the anger that you see in men is the anger of the woman. It's not normal for men to be angry. It's not their normal state of being. But when you see anger in the men, you're looking at their mama. And they have the same mindset and emotions as a woman, so they act just like the woman. They're jealous and envious and strife and revenge and everything, because men's supposed to lead you out of your hell, not try to keep you in your hell with them.
I know that's true. My honey bunny has saved my little tail so many times because I'm very giving and I want to please everybody and make everybody happy, and he will put his foot down and say, no, that's not how we're going to do this.
See, you just like your mama, you're a phony.
And I look back on it and I'm like, I am so thankful for him. And it's not like I'm trying to, I don't know. I think we need both. and I do believe that he, in those kinds of circumstances, is a way better leader because I'll give you the shirt off my back. And he's like, but
you know
we
why?
need that.
You know why you do that?
I would say it's out of love, but perhaps I'm wrong. I don't. I got the wool over my eyes and I can't see clearly.
The reason you do
but I know
that,
that he helps me.
the reason you do that is because you're just like your mother. You're wicked on the inside, and you're trying to appear nice to try to make yourself feel better, so that people can think you're a nice woman. She's a nice wife. She's a nice mother. But you're just like your mother. You're covered up evil by doing all these things so you can get a false sense of feeling good.
Well, maybe that's part of it, but
That's all of it.
I do try to stay spiritually clean.
You can't stay spiritually clean until you overcome evil, and God will cause you to be spiritually clean, because your nature will change from evil to love.
Well, this is very hard for me, so I know I got some spiritual work to do.
And when you say very hard for you, what do you mean?
Well, like I said, I really feel like I try to be as completely open and honest every morning with Jesus as I can, because I know that's what he came to us for. He's like, don't be deceptive, don't be
but you can't help it.
Hiding corruption.
Rachel, you're not going to be able to help it until your nature change. And your nature is not going to change until you forgive your mother. You got to face your mother and realize, forgive your father for not protecting you from her by realizing that he couldn't help himself. She couldn't help herself. And then you need to become aware of the devil. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. So you got God's going to bring you out of your imagination, which is thoughts, and he's going to take them away from you, and you'll be free. Then you'll be real.
And then I'll be able to put my foot down too.
Yes.
I'm still gonna appreciate that he's a strong voice for us.
Who?
Honey Bunny.
Oh, your husband?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should appreciate your husband if he's strong. Let me say this to you before I run. You mentioned some late woman, Ricky Lake or something?
Yes.
Her name Ricky Lake?
Yes. No, Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake and some of these other women that are running for government?
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You call them good?
Well, I think they're wonderful leaders for women.
No,
and I don't see corruption there.
They are the worst thing that ever happened to women. They are not good. There's no such thing as a good woman. And so this woman, Carrie Lake, and all the people, they're running for leadership because they're insecure, they're angry, they're just like you, and they're trying to make themselves feel better. Women were not created to lead. Women were created to follow. And those type women, they'll leave their children in a daycare center. They'll leave their children with the Mexican nanny. They'll leave their children to go out and get their ego fulfilled. They have no love.
Well.
And if you got to know them, you would see they're some of the nastiest women you ever want to meet. Especially if you say, you know what, you need to be home raising your kids. Raising the man, they'll go off on you like nothing going no. They're on an ego trip. They don't have, those are not women. There's no such thing as a good person anyway. Women don't have love. What the? And one last thing I want to tell you before I run. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Never, ever, ever, but never, 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 as long as you walk this earth, never call yourself a recovering alcoholic. Never call yourself any other identity, because you take on those identities, you believe that that's who you are, and it keeps you away from who you truly are. You're supposed to die of the ego, and dying of the ego is dying of all false identities. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your body. You're not an alcoholic. You only did the alcohol because you had conflict on the inside and you were trying to feel better, but it wasn't who you were or are. So stop calling yourself anything so you can die from all false identity. Then you should know the Father. You should know God.
Okay.
Never call yourself an alcoholic again. Didn't they teach you down at the alcoholic place that you're not an alcoholic? It's just what you do because you're in hell?
Well, in different words, but yeah, I think that's the spiritual gist of it.
Okay, so don't call yourself that ever again.
Okay.
Don't call yourself
Thank
good.
you, Jesse.
Don't call yourself good or bad, right or wrong, sinner or saint. Give yourself no more titles. You're none of those things. All your sins has been washed away, and God does not see you as a sinner. Only you see yourself that way because Satan is your God.
Yeah. Guilt. Yeah.
And do the silent prayer. Are you familiar with the silent prayer? My silent prayer?
I guess I'm not. No.
Go to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, and I want you to start doing that. Do your little hooping and holler, talking to Jesus, and when you're finished wasting your time talking to Jesus, be still and know God. rebuildingtheman.com/prayer.
Okay.
And let me know how it goes.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse.
And listen, go and forgive your mama. Mama, I'm sorry for resenting you for what you done to me. I realize now you can't help it. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive her and God will forgive you. And have no expectation. If she cry, let her cry. If she yell, let her yell. If she blame your father, let her blame your father. If she lay down and die, let her die. You forgive her and God will forgive you. You'll be free.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you, Jesse.
Will you let me know how it goes?
I will. Yeah.
All right. I wish you well.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. 888-7753-773. You got to work on yourself if you want to come out of this hell. Super chat. Super.
Chalice bought a Cash App donation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jalen also did one. Thank you.
Amazing.
And Jeff bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse. Sorry about the piffy violation on Friday.
Keep it piffy.
Nick, the American Anchor Baby, was reading the Super Chats and had to pare it down, whittle it down. If you could ask Nick to break...
It was longer than a letter.
He has about 10 piffy bites right there. I get long-winded to the point of blisters on my thumb tips. Love you as human beings and brothers in Christ. Thank you. God, friends. Peace. Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Mo Betta bought 5 coffees. And this is not a pithy. Mo Betta, stand up. Bought 5 coffees. Not exactly pithy.
Make it piffy.
I think we'll read it.
Let me take a quick break. When I come back, we'll do the Super Chats and your phone calls, all right? Back in a moment. News. Hake coming up with the Hake News. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier. So my gift to you, no charge. at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Putin wins, and they're trying to bash Trump for dehumanizing the illegals. Yeah, right. I don't think he was doing that. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Female Monday, March 18th, AD 2024. Stay tuned for hour two. JLP will be right back to your calls. The lines are full, guys. But first, Hake news, not fake news. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports Vladimir Putin just won his fifth term as Russia's president. He's been in power since the year 2000, as you heard Nick, the American anchor baby, report last Friday during Hake News. Yesterday, Russian officials said Putin earned nearly 90% of the vote in the country's presidential elections. 87%, I think, something like that. 90% almost. Though many Western leaders say the elections were neither free nor fair. Oh, good for them. Watching out for the Russians. From the beginning, the Russian president's path to victory was preordained, they say, by God, with the Kremlin barring any serious challengers and coercing people to vote. Whoa, according to the ladies at the Skim. Now, Putin has extended his grip on the country for at least 6 more years and is the longest-serving Russian leader since Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin. Putin is vowing to press ahead with the war in Ukraine, continuing a confrontation with the West, so-called West. Meanwhile, there's growing concern that Putin's authoritarian hold will only mean more oppression in Russia, they claim. The Kremlin has cracked down on so-called independent media, put many of Putin's critics in jail, and the opposition movement is recently lost their most vocal leader, Alexei Navalny, whom you heard about. He died the other week at the tender age of like 47 or something like. Still, many aren't backing down. Dozens arrested after protesting the elections over the weekend. Some pouring paint in ballot boxes and setting voting booths on fire. Wow, no wonder he has to crack down on these people, huh? I don't know. Thousands of people also lined up at polling stations in Russia and abroad for the so-called Noon Against Putin demonstrations, fulfilling a request Alexei Navalny made before his death. What a mess, huh? And Trump bashers, meanwhile in America, mischaracterizing our greatest president. Over the weekend, Trump sparked outrage, according to the ladies at the Skim. We use the term ladies loosely, of course, after he said some immigrants are not people. Some immigrants are not, so-called immigrants, are not people during a campaign speech in Ohio. His dehumanizing words are drawing parallels to rhetoric he's used in the past, including when he's called Mexicans rapists. Some are. You pretending that none have? R-worded? Trump's comments come as immigration shapes up to be a top issue in this year's presidential election. In his speech, Trump also warned it would be a bloodbath for the country, quote unquote, if he's not elected, and that it would be the least of it. What a mess. In a statement, evil Biden's campaign said Trump's comments doubled down on threats of political violence, like they're ones to talk. That's all they ever do. Speaking of our greatest president, Trump, former vice president, based Mike Pence, not acting very based lately. He said he will not be endorsing his former boss ahead of the November election. Sounds pretty evil and petty, if you ask me. I could be wrong. Pollen going around. Allergies, anybody? CNN reports a California super bloom is springing to life and will soon blanket some of the state's dry landscape in vivid displays of abundant wildflowers. Nice. The colorful blooms, however, are notoriously sensitive to weather conditions. Could be a short window to bask in their beauty. What a mess. Oh, interesting. You're showing that. Oh, no. There's also a freeze coming in. Tuesday marks the official start of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's going to be fall for you guys down under in Australia and New Zealand and elsewhere south of the equator. Explain that, flat earthers. March 19th is the first day of spring tomorrow. By the way, Women's Forum is third Thursday the month. That's this Thursday, March 21st. Rebuildingtheman.com/events, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles, ladies. I'm James Hake.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already, believe it or not. The second hour already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773 888-77 Jesse, Jesse. Brand new biblical question for this week. Brand new biblical question. Do you have morals and values? If so, where do they come from? Do you have morals and values? Where do they come from? If so. Amazing. James, you took out the prepositional phrase that the young lady was talking about yesterday. Why you take it out? What the? Can you take it out so I will be sound silly? What the? We have every way that you can watch this. A lady, one of the fellowship ladies said yesterday that, do you have morals and values? If so, where did they come from? It's a wrong prepositional phrase or something. And that Hake gonna correct that. I thought Hake had corrected it. What the? What a mess. Anyway, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. So will you change it around, Hake? I still don't understand what you're saying. You're not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition such as from. Oh, it should be where do you get it? Where do you get it? It sounds like when you say, hey, where you at? But anyway, where am I? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy doing land up at the beach or whatever, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. Follow us on social media, JLP Talk on X and cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to JLP Talk. JLP Talk. No, I'm sorry. Buy me a coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. It's Monday. It's the second hour. It is Female Monday.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Female Monday. We take all the females call. We take all calls, but when the ladies call in, we go right to them on Mondays. Philip is a first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Philip, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Philip.
I've been listening for a while now, and I always disagree with you in my early listening times. And what I really wanted to know, well, you kind of broke it down with the last caller. Females, all females have hate. They're not capable of love. I disagree, and I just wanted to pick your brain on it. Like, how would all women have hate?
Because their nature is that of evil. When Eve listened to the devil, she was turned away from her husband, which turned her away from God. Her nature became evil, and that opened up the gates of hell through the woman.
There's no female on planet.
When they're born of their mothers, they must be born. All people have to be born again of the Father, because the mother's nature is evil, which is of Satan, and the father's nature is of God. So when you're born of the female, when you're born of the physical, you must be born again of the spirit, which is of the Father.
So there's no decent female out there. That's what you said, that's capable of love.
There is not one that's capable of love, but if they were to forgive their mothers and return to their fathers, love their earthly father, meaning don't be angry at them, then God's love would change their nature, and the love of God will operate through them instead of the hatred of evil, of Satan.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking my call.
You're welcome. Thank you, Philip.
All right.
Bye. Super Chat. 888-777. Super.
Mo Betta stand-up bought 5 coffees, like I mentioned in the end of the last hour.
Yes.
I miss you all since 2018. Just switching time zones for work again. Hope y'all are well. We're missing one dog catcher from Detroit. Too many spicy tacos. Be right back. Also, that early more AM crackhead woman. He's joking around about that. From Inglewood or Compton or Chicago that kept stalking the show from 3 different phone booths back then. They brought some great arguments, but JLP and team won them all. Like I said, different time zone now. So I'll be back with a better donation to your cause soon. I continue to listen to your podcasts loyally, even if you don't know Mo Betta Stand Up.
Right on. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you. I remember you. Danny bought a coffee. All right, Jason the lads. Apparently the marriage vows changed 2 years after women got rights to vote. It used to say obey, then they took it out. P.S. Hake, you've been eating double portions of steak looking like jacked Jesus in that. Strong arm emoji. Thank you, Danny.
Amazing. Was there a question for me?
No, they said that apparently the marriage vows changed 2 years after women got right to vote. That's the point I want to make.
Guys, when you first meet a woman on your very first date to a coffee shop or a dinner, no expensive dinner, but dinner, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried.
What the?
Somewhere. and y'all sitting there, you order the meal, and while the waitress is going to get the meal, you ask, if we should get married, will you obey me? And if she says no or stumble, you get up and walk away. Just walk away. Leave her sitting there, walk away. Because she's saying, no, I'm going to only give you hell. Never marry a woman who will not obey. All you're going to catch is hell. All right? It's up. I'm telling you, but it's up to you. Thank you.
Nice. Ryan B. bought a coffee. I realized I had been ruled by my thoughts for 30-something years. What the?
Yeah.
What a mess.
What a mess. All thoughts, all lies, all the time about anything. What a mess. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Hello, sir. If your mother and father are in a house fire, would you go back and save them along with the dog? The biblical question.
That's a biblical question?
That's his biblical question to her.
Is that a serious question?
I don't know. It says exclamation mark at the end.
What does that mean?
The biblical question.
What's the explanation at the end mean?
Exclamation mark for emphasis.
Oh.
Yeah. Someone too blessed to be stressed.
Thank you. I don't quite understand. I don't know if you plan or if you what.
Yeah.
But let's say you're serious. I doubt if I'm going back in that house for him, especially the dog. The dog may be under the table somewhere. Come on, man.
True.
But I don't know. I have to wait and see.
5 coffees from someone too blessed to be stressed. It says mocha lattes for JLP and the experts. Thank y'all for the amazing episodes.
Thank you. My friends say even Kentucky Fried is too expensive nowadays.
Wow. Terrible. Price is going up.
I'm telling you. Thank you.
RH the 4th bought 3 coffees. You have to go on this journey alone. Also, the devil made me forget the assignment for the week, too. What the? I was surprised when Sean said he forgot it. Also, I was like, Lord, we really need Jesus.
I was surprised my producer Sean never got it, too.
Yep.
That's not like Sean.
Yeah.
But
Lisa B bought 18 coffees, very generous. JC, sir.
Thank you.
It is an honor to buy you coffee. Please
you.
Continue your beautiful, hard mission to help us be better humans. I truly admire your ability to receive so much hate and it rolls off of you. You keep on keeping on. God bless you. Heart emoji, angel with halo face emoji.
You stay with it, and you're going to see that God will protect you from evil. He really will. He'll protect you from the evil that was inside your mind and body and the evil that's inside of others. He will protect you. Just stay with it. Amazing. Thank you.
Severio Jones donated a couple of diamonds, no message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over on D-Live. CLC is supporting over on twitch.tv/JLP Talk. Did you know JLP Talk is on Twitch?
Amazing. I didn't know that.
Piotr bought...
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, CLC. Piotr bought 5 coffees. Thank you, Jesse and team, for the best fellowship this side of heaven. Amazing.
Amazing fellowship.
Thumbs
Check
up
out rebuildingtheman.com/church. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. Speaking of Trump was on this morning show, Sunday morning show on Fox. He was being interviewed. What's the name of that show?
I don't even know.
It's on Fox every Sunday morning around 8 o'clock my time, I think, Pacific time. And I was watching it, and then I had to leave, so I recorded it. It was, I want to find the right words. Okay, I found some words. It was deep. It was simple. It was old school. It was honesty. It was amazing. It was really just old school. It was just amazing.
Amazing.
It was Media Buzz with Howard Kurtz. on that Fox channel there. It was more than a notion. It was deep. And I was watching it, but I couldn't finish. I had to get to the fellowship. I'm like, I got to record. I want to see this whole thing. And I did. And yesterday I watched the rest of it. It was deep. There's none like it. Amazing. Thank you. Amazing.
C. Andrews 99 asks during church, is the ego death physically painful?
What?
Is the ego death physically painful?
You will feel it in your physical body. You will feel the pain of fear. You will feel the pain of loneliness. You will feel the pain of wanting to give up. You will feel the pain of how long will this take? I can't handle this. But it won't be real. You will feel it in the body if you stay with it. But if you watch the thoughts and the pain, you'll go through it. But it won't be physical pain like you stubbed your toe or you ran into the wall or you have a headache, that kind of stuff. It won't be that. It'll be spiritual ego, the death of dark spirits inside of your body and mind. Amazing. Thank you.
Aries 1 asks, is no cussing a moral or value?
What the? That's the biblical question?
No, this is the question. Is no cussing a moral or value?
But that's related to the biblical question. Do you have morals and values?
It's not an answer to the biblical question, though.
But if I answer that, I'll be answering the biblical question.
Ah.
What the?
I guess you have to wait until Sunday, Aries 1, this coming Sunday.
Yeah, wait until Sunday. I can't respond until Sunday. Thank you, though. Good try.
Jane on Bond YouTube said they're going to forget it again, the assignment.
You know what was interesting about that? It's interesting to see seekers be intellectual, and they try to answer the questions intellectually, but they're unwilling to really, truly seek wisdom. And I understand it, though, because I know that if you're not watching out for the intellect, it'll trick you. It's weird, but it's understandable. Thank you.
Chaos Confessional said, somebody flipped me off and honked their horn one time. They pulled up and rolled the window down. I just said, I'm a woman and I don't know what I'm doing. They drove away. Laughing face with tears coming out sideways.
Nice. I mean, don't get angry.
Old Timer asks, why should you trust no one? This is related to the assignment.
I can't relate because that's assignment.
All right.
I mean, I can't respond.
If you follow the principles, you can deal with betrayal. So just trust people. This is Old Timer.
Okay, Old Timer. You see how far that gets you. Thank you.
Mrs. Puma asks, how do you go through life without trusting anyone? I can only get so far, but I trust my husband. How is that not okay? It's a confusing assignment.
You don't trust your husband. I guarantee you don't trust your husband. If you trust your husband, you'll never try to change him. You will obey him. You'll be satisfied, perfectly satisfied with him. Amazing. Thank you, though.
Marina asks, can you forgive your mother and father without talking to them? My mom passed away, so I can't tell her anything. My father doesn't talk to me.
You can realize, if she's dead, you can realize by getting to know yourself, you will see that you could not help yourself. Something else was driving you. You will understand that about your mother, and that will cause you to forgive her. If your father absolutely will not talk to you, just remember he cannot help himself either, and forgive him. Otherwise, you never will know God. But try to FaceTime him or something. But if he doesn't want to talk to you, you can't make him talk. Do not hold that against him. Thank you.
Billy bought our coffee. Homework assignment. I have no heroes except the yearning of the Father. I spent years looking in churches. He isn't there. He is with me. Morals and values, judgment. Oh, I guess this is a biblical question response too.
Repeat it.
I didn't
finish it. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. morals and values, judgment, and his ego and about self, which is a sin. Sorry, I forgot about the assignment as well. Never ask an old white man if he remembers.
Remember, the worst thing, the greatest sin is forgetfulness. It's amazing.
Billy bought another coffee. When I catch myself unconscious, I actually say out loud, I am going unconscious.
Nice. Whatever it takes. Thank you.
Gregatron bought a coffee. Jesse, you'll be proud of me. I watched Revolver and Nefarious for the first time back-to-back last night. Good movies.
You must be walking on water this morning. Thank you.
Over on Buy Me a Coffee, Greenwall says, Trump was on fire at the Ohio rally. Play hardball with China, restore the border, defund the perverts who are indoctrinating kids.
Trump is the right man at the right time, sent to us by God. Believe me, you better accept it. Thank you.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, guess what? Now the liberal media is complaining about the bloodbath comment from the Great White Hope this weekend. Wonder what they're going to complain about next. I've never seen so much hatred towards one man. It's not funny. All he's trying to do is make sure the country doesn't become a socialist country. In other words, a ghetto. Thanks, Mike Young. Love your show always.
Thank you. Excuse me. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Between now and November voting time, you ain't see hell. It's going to get worse. Believe me. Amazing. Thank you.
Jules Verne, 23, supporting on Rumble with a Rumble rant. Jesse Lee Peterson there. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Natasha Divine. Hey, I didn't know JLP Talk was on Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
We're on Twitch. Thank you.
Another donation from Chalice saying thanks.
Thank you.
Over on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App.
Thank you, Chalice.
Amazing Asia bought a coffee. Question for Jesse and the experts. Is it possible for a gay man to become an alpha or be an alpha? Or does what someone does in the privacy of their bedroom discredit them as men? I was having a debate the other day, just curious to hear you all's perspective.
Overcome Mama's spirit and you'll be free. It's just spirits. It's all spirits and they come from hate. Don't call yourself that or anyone. Just overcome the anger. You're possessed and your mind and body is not you. Amazing. Thank you.
That's over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Yeah, I agree. Being Enlightened Till I Rise says, morning, y'all. Wishing y'all this fine Monday. He's a monthly supporter, subscriber on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson.
Amazing. Thank you.
5 coffees from Joey. Shout out to Rachel, this last hour's caller. Accepting Jesse's word is truth. Keep coming. One alcoholic to another.
That was an amazing call in the first hour, Rachel. I really wish her well. Stay with it, and never call yourself anything. Here's what I recommend for everybody.
Nice.
Never call yourself anything ever again. All you're doing is taking off identities, and that's keeping you in hell. Because if you call yourself that, you're going to identify with it, and when you identify with it, it's going to drive you right deeper into hell. Look at the blacks identifying with being black. Look at the misery they're going through, the hell. Because they have identified with the color thing, and they've been driven straight into hell. And they defend hell like 90 going north. Amazing. Thank you.
JV, the great bottle of coffee, great bond service yesterday. What stood out to me is the woman who kept reiterating how Jesus loves me. I have Jesus' love. At the end, she stated she wanted to hear more about the good of Jesus and how much Jesus loves us, and not so much about the devil. My immediate impression, this woman is using that as a coping mechanism, as if she was using it as a shield to avoid reality. How can you find the light by being told how good Jesus is if you can't overcome the devil within? I don't know. She just seemed insincere, said JV the Great.
Anytime you hear the Christians going on and on about Jesus, what they're saying on and on, that they're lost. They're in hell. Really. And they keep repeating it to try to make, it's like drinking alcohol. They keep drinking Jesus to try to feel better. Amazing.
Aries 1 with a couple of diamonds, no message. Thank you for the support as always.
Thank you.
Being enlightened till I rise says, assignment, let go of all your heroes. Don't trust anyone.
Nice.
Supporter on Rumble.
Were you surprised even Sean didn't remember this?
I was a little bit surprised, but it kind of makes sense because church is not his show, and he doesn't necessarily get the notes that I take down.
But Sean real holy.
He is. That's true. But it was also St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and Sean is Irish.
Oh, he didn't forget St. Patrick.
I don't know if he did or didn't.
I know he didn't.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Was he wearing green yesterday?
You mentioned St. Patrick.
Okay. Mr. J bought a coffee. Mr. Sandman, and I just want to show some love for the crew. Love all you guys.
Amazing.
Thank you. You too.
Joey, 5 coffees.
He says, Sean, my producer says, St. Patrick is my hero.
St. Patrick was reputed to have driven all the snakes off the island of Ireland.
What?
He drove all the snakes off of Ireland, I heard. Something like that.
Ireland was 1 block or something?
Ireland.
Ireland was 1 block.
I don't know how big Ireland is.
Well, how you going to run all the snakes off there? That ain't even make sense. And somebody believe that?
I believe it. Hassan is Irish too?
I thought Hassan was Jew.
He's everything. Most Jews are mixed with Irish.
Hassan said he's Allahu Akbar. He's Jewish. He's white. And might have a little black. And now he's saying he's Irish.
You know, Margaret Sanger was both Jewish and Irish too. Maybe she's his great-grandma.
And where's Margaret Sanger now?
In heaven.
I'll rest my case.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Joey bought 5 coffees. Meant to say X alcohol to another. I'm white and slow. God bless Jesse and the crew.
Thank you.
Nice. And thank you. Oh, Erica Rodriguez bought 3 coffees.
And now they say Hassan is a little bulldog.
What the?
You're afraid to say that. Okay.
Amazing. 3 coffees from Erica. Good morning, Jesse family. Question: when our daddy, the devil, appeared in front of Eve in the Garden of Eden, was Eve able to see Satan in physical form, or was she listening to Satan through thoughts like we do today?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Indeed.
I really don't know. Very good question, though.
J1D2 says, Jesse, what's your answer to last week's biblical question, double question mark? I watched church twice and you never answered it. What the?
I realized that yesterday night.
I was thinking about that too.
That we never dealt with the biblical at all because I was thrown, what's I thrown off? I was thrown off that nobody remembered the assignment for that week. And so I figured that if they didn't remember the assignment, they didn't work on themselves. So we never did get to the biblical question.
Sometimes you answer it without explicitly explaining that you're answering it.
Right. And so the last week biblical question was, can you see the contradiction between the way you think and the way you are? And I say, no, most people don't. Thank you. They don't see the difference.
Nice. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Let me go to James out of New York. James, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse? How's it going?
All is well, James.
I want to ask you something about Donald Trump. I don't understand why people give him such a hard time or don't trust him. Like, I've known Donald Trump all my life. I feel like he's always been like a figurehead in the country. And even like his parents have been figureheads in the country. There's so much like documentation on this guy. He's always been in the limelight, kind of like a real life Truman Show. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but like he's always been in the spotlight. there's always been people watching him do good, or the people who say he's done bad or whatever. I just feel like we don't really personally know any politicians as deeply as we know Donald Trump. Like, whenever I hear him talk, I can always understand what he's trying to say. I can always,
hold on a minute.
Where he's...
Hold on. 888-77, Jesse. Back in a moment. Highly recommend you get them. 7 guaranteed steps to spiritual, family, and financial success guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Okay, welcome back. Women Forum, the ladies forum this Thursday night. You don't want to miss it. Ever since the first Thursday night of this year, it's been on fire. Because we're not messing around with the devil this year. We can't let the devil win. The devil don't play, so we ain't playing. At the men's forum, the ladies forum, or church on Sunday, fellowship. So ladies forum this Thursday at 7 p.m. at the headquarters of Bond, L.A. All right? All ladies are invited. Let me go quickly. 888-7753-773. Quickly back to James. So, James, you have a question about Trump?
Yeah. Why, from what I was saying before, why do I feel like people don't want to vote for someone or support someone who's not a career politician, who never really had because it was George W. Bush, his father was president. He was a career kind of in nepotism, kind of brought up into politics, and he became president. But Donald Trump is kind of the American dream kind of guy, someone who's born in America, built in America, wants to do good for the country. But I don't know why people don't necessarily trust him, or why all these news organizations constantly try and make him like he's something he's not. What do you think is wrong with the left or some parts of the country where they don't see that this guy is, doing right by them?
As a friend of mine, my friend said, Trump is trying to take the power away from the so-called powerful people, from the government and all, and give it back to the people. He wants you to be an individual who think and know for themselves, and they don't want that. The so-called powerful people don't want it. And then most people are sheeps. They don't think for themselves. They believe whatever somebody with a degree says or the government says. They are groupies, and they are incapable of seeing for themselves. But those who are free thinkers, they understand. That's why the president has so much support. The free thinkers understand what Donald Trump, the Great White Hope, is trying to do.
Yeah, I remember in 2015, I have the grace to admit that I was oh, why is Donald Trump going to be president? And I remember thinking, because my parents, were Democrat, I was brought up Democrat. And like I remember one guy was talking to me about Donald Trump, and I was like, nah, that makes no sense. It makes no sense why he's in there. But like I can admit I was wrong initially, because when I saw how much got done when he was president, I was like, geez, I was just inundated by the propaganda. You know, I was just, you know, going along with it.
Well, that's what happens when you are asleep and you really don't know yourself. You just go along with what anyone says, never really knowing for yourself. But when you really, really want to know for yourself as an individual, you can wake up, and then that's when you start to see. James, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. Have a good day, Jesse.
You too, buddy. 888-7753-773. Greg out of Florida. Greg, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jess. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome, Greg. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. So I was telling Sean when he answered the phone that the more you're in the present, the more hell you see. And you get that. And I understand now why people don't go through the ego death is because they run away from that hell trying to appease the ego. So, and I was listening to another person the other day. I just happened to be turning on the radio. And this preacher said, the man is in charge of the house, and anything with two heads in a house is a monster.
That's for sure.
He was talking about, because this woman was trying to say that her and her husband were equal and all. And I was surprised to hear another preacher say it, because actually I only hear you say that kind of stuff. But he told her there's only one leader in the house, it's the father, and that anything with two heads in a house is a monster. There's only one head.
Yeah. Amazing.
So is that, and every time you feel pain, Jesse, is that you're lacking faith?
I'm sorry?
Every time you feel the physical body pain, like if you're riding, just an example, if you're riding down the road and something doesn't go the way you think it should go, or something doesn't go the way you want it to, and you feel pain over is that because you're lacking faith and you think you're in control?
No, it's because you're unconscious. You're not present.
Okay. Well, what's the difference between being unconscious and the lack of faith?
What's the difference between... I don't know what the lack of faith means.
You know how well, I can only use this because this is the way I grew up. You hear people say, do you have faith in God? Is that just an illusion, or can you have faith in God?
You can't have faith in God.
Okay.
I don't even know what it means to me. I'm trying to explain, and I'm letting... washing my thighs and blah, blah, blah. You can't have faith in God. I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Either you know him or you don't know him. And unconscious people don't know God. Anyone that has anger, they're living in time, past or future, which doesn't exist. They do not know God. They just know about him because they heard about him or read about him. So intellectually, they know about him, but they do not know him. Because if they knew him, they would be present with him.
So let me give you this example real quick. So if you know how we all have, I know time's an illusion, but we all have to live in time because we have to make appointments and keep a schedule to, if you make an appointment to go see a doctor or your customers or something. So knowing you have those appointments that you have to keep, and challenges happen during the day that come up, what makes you feel that pressure and anxiety of I got to hurry up because I don't want to miss that appointment?
You go unconscious.
Where is that coming from?
Unconsciousness.
Unconsciousness. Yeah. Okay.
Because you get into your head thinking, I got to rush, I got to this, I got to that. But if you didn't get into your head about it, you would just go, and either you'll be late, you'll be on time, but you won't be pressured or unconscious about it. You'll just be present.
I know. I'll tell you this last thing. I noticed the other day when I was working, and a lot of times, you get in that habit of rushing through the day because you think you got to go to the next and the next and the next.
And the problem is you're thinking that.
Right.
But if you didn't think that, you just do what you have to do.
and you're in hell the whole time you're doing that because you feel that, that pressure inside the body, that fear, that anxiety. But the day after that, when I did that, I stayed conscious, I stayed present, and I didn't let myself get out of the moment, like you said, that I was in, and I never felt that, and I actually went faster by slowing down.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
You'll get more done by slowing down than you will by going faster.
You are not kidding about that, and I've firsthand seen that. Well, thank you for taking my call, Jesse. I really appreciate it, sir.
And good to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. You take care.
All right, buddy. Amazing call. Amazing. Jimmy is a first-time caller out of New Hampshire. There's one line open, 888-77-53773. Jimmy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Big fan. So just the other day, I was having a conversation with my girlfriend, and she was having a hard time wrapping her mind around the order of God and how a man should be the leader of the household. And I often hear you ask your guests on your show, when you interview them, does your wife obey you? Are you the head of your wife? And trying to have that conversation with my girlfriend it's difficult, but I give her a lot of respect and credit because she's open to hearing this perspective and trying to understand it. But I have to admit, I don't have all the answers for her. And I really do just want to reach out to you and see what you have to say about how to carefully bring her into this worldview and to show her the path and to show her the order of God. So, Jesse, if you don't mind, what sort of advice do you have for me?
If, number one, you can't make her understand, and you will make a big mistake trying to force her to understand, because you can't even make yourself understand it. You have to want to see it, right? And so either she want to see it or she doesn't. I would suggest if you think that she really want to overcome, she need to work on herself, overcome the anger, one step at a time. See that she has anger, go forgive her mother, her father, and things will become clear. But if she's unwilling to seek the truth and overcome for herself, you can't make her do it.
Mm-hmm. I see. And I think you got a good.
You just have to leave her in her hell, and then knowing that she is unwilling to come out of her hell before you get deeper involved with her, I would dump her. Because it's just going to be trouble.
I see.
I mean, how much understanding do you need to know that the man is the head of the wife? You don't need much understanding. You don't need that much.
Yeah, I guess not. She's just concerned about the whole, she doesn't want to be led or to be not submissive, but to be dominated. Those were her words. But
so meaning that she doesn't want to obey you.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she has an issue with that word.
And why are you trying to convince her?
Well, because she's open to understanding the truth, and it's worth my time to try to show her.
Why?
She's a good spirit, and she's a person worth investing into.
What's a good spirit?
Well, she's a good person.
No such
she
thing.
Means well.
What's a good person?
Well, that's a good question. She's open to to God's perspective. That's very big, to God's truth. I think she's still just kind of battling with the illusion of what we deal with every day. The kind of the BS that we put up in front of ourselves instead of just believing in God and letting God take the reins.
And so what is a good person?
Well, a good person would be somebody who fully accepts God.
And she hasn't done that.
Well, not quite.
Why do you call her good then? Why do you call her good?
Well, it seems like she's good.
How does it seem like she's good? You can't even convince her of anything, and And as she doesn't believe in God, why does she seem as though she's good?
Well, no, she believes in God, but she's not quite to the level that, one would need to be.
And why do you say she believes in God?
Well, because she knows that God is real.
How does she know? How do you know? Why do you say she knows God is real?
Because we've talked about it. She's said that.
The devil can talk about God. If she knows God is real, then she will understand she should obey you. She will understand the order of God. There will be no convincing.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Don't you be deluded, man. You're going to deceive. You're going to regret it. Have she gone and forgiven her mother?
Not yet. I haven't talked to her about that.
So why you have all these false impressions of this girl that she has not done any of those things?
Well, I don't know if they're false impressions.
But why would you think she know God? How can you know God? You haven't forgiven your mother.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Has she forgiven her father?
No.
So you call her good and she's all evil so far. I know why you believe in the lies.
Uh-huh. Why?
Do you know why you believe in the lies?
No.
Because you want her. And you want her, and because you want her, you're making yourself believe all lies, and Satan is having you justifying those lies because you want her. If you didn't want her, then you'd be see her as she is, and whatever happened will happen.
Well, let me ask Jesse, is it ever worth to take time and energy to try to not convince, but to show somebody the truth?
No.
No. Well, why not? Wouldn't that be better?
You can't show anyone the truth. Only God can show someone the truth, and they have to want that truth. You can't show them the truth. How can you show them the truth and you're desperately wanting her, and while wanting her, you're pretending to be showing her the truth? It's really about you and not about her at all. You're trying to get her in a position where you feel a little bit more comfortable so you can get her. It's not that you care about her at all. It's all about you. That's why you pretend to be showing her the truth. And that's why you call her good. That's why you say she know God. And nothing about her indicates she know God, and nothing about her indicates that she's good, but you want to see it that way because you want her pretending that it's about her. Have you noticed that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
You haven't noticed that you want her?
Well, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
And you haven't noticed that you're pretending to be changing her? In trying to change her, you're changing her for you and not for God?
That I don't know.
Pay attention to that. And be honest. You don't have to tell her if you don't want to, but be honest with yourself about it, and that would change to the right thing.
Okay.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
You went to her?
Yes.
And what did she say? What did you say to her?
Well, I kind of went into a little bit of detail about our history, and I just told her, Mom, I totally forgive you for everything you've done as good as you can, and life's difficult, and I love you, and I forgive you.
Have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from her?
That's a different story.
Meaning what?
Well, no, I haven't talked to him yet about that.
Then you don't know God either then. Why have you done that?
Well, I don't know.
Yes, you do. Why have you done that? Why haven't you? You're trying to change this girl and you don't even know the truth because changing the girl is about you. It's not about the girl. Why haven't you forgiven your father?
Well, probably because he lives in a different country. And,
what?
He lives in another country.
Right.
And I don't know. I just don't have that close of a relationship with him.
Why not?
Haven't really spent that much time with him.
Why not?
Well, he's been out, pursuing his career and so on, and we see each other. Growing up, I saw him sometimes, but not much in the past couple of years.
And why not? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Why haven't you made effort to see him?
Well, I don't know.
You're looking for a father's love, and you think you're looking for this woman's love, and she has no love, and you're going to end up in the same hole that your father ended up in with your mother. You're about to repeat the same cycle. And does he live in a foreign country now or America?
Currently in a foreign country.
And they don't have telephones over there?
No, I mean, I talk with him frequently, but it's just, going over there is a little bit challenging.
They don't have FaceTime?
Typically, we just talk on the phone, no FaceTime.
Do they have FaceTime over there?
Yes, they do.
Can you FaceTime with him so you could be looking at him?
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah, it hasn't really crossed my mind, but yeah, I guess next time I talk to him, I'll suggest it.
Here's what I recommend. You stop trying to work on this girl and work on you, and life will happen for you, and whatever's meant to be, it will happen easily. You have an easy life, but you got to work on you and stop pretending that you're trying to save this girl for God when it's really just for you. You will live to regret that.
Okay. That's good advice.
Because if she was open to the truth, you wouldn't be having a difficult pointing her back to it. But you haven't found it for yourself because you haven't returned to your father, and you're not going to return to God until you can return to your earthly father. Meaning that don't resent him. You got to forgive him.
Yeah, that's totally right.
I wish you well, Jimmy. Let me know how it goes.
All right, Jesse. Thanks for your time, man. God bless.
You too, buddy. Amazing. Let me go to Austin, a first-time call out of Florida. Austin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Mr. Jesse, good morning.
Good morning, Austin.
Hey, I have a question. I know that you've been advocating for this for a long time, how the black minority is kind of not individuals and not thinking for themselves. And for the past maybe year and a half or so, I've really seen a rise and almost a turning where people are starting to open their eyes to being individuals and having, their own thoughts. And I was wondering if you think in our generation, if we will see the racism go down, which I know you say there isn't racism, but I'm saying where we won't see such a rise in that. Is it going to go down by the time that I'm still alive? Because I'm 24. Do you think that it'll be after that America will, release that history and kind of move past it and start going forward?
So your question is what now?
Is the racism still going to be prevalent in my generation? Or you think that it's going to be, or the thought pattern that there is racism, do you think that will be gone?
Well, as you know, no such thing as racism, so it doesn't exist, so it can't be gone if it doesn't exist. But the children of evil will use that word as long as they can get away with it. As long as they can manipulate, get what they want, and control the whites and the blacks, they will use it. Hold on. We have a counseling service. Back in a moment, y'all. Thanks to God. It is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal. young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world and in the room. Hake was not here. I didn't realize it was the break already. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday, March 18th, AD 2024. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. I will not be here. Joel Friday will be filling in for Hake, thehakereport.com. And after the Hake Report, guest hosted by Joel Friday, will be Joel Friday TV podcast. Nice. Catch that on Joel Friday TV, YouTube. And after that, American Anchor Baby. You can go to jesseleepeterson.com/show, scroll down to find all of the network hosts, which include Hake, Joel Friday, and Nick, the American Anchor Baby. Freeze, watch, Commie, Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. No, not The Skim. Reports that Tuesday, tomorrow, is the official start of spring in the Northern Hemisphere for the Baltards, like Hake, after the warmest winter on record. Also, Thursday is the third Thursday of the month, ladies. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. The Women's Forum, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Men's Forums are first Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. at Bond. Women's Forums, third Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. at Bond. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports more than half the U.S. population this week will experience temperatures at or below freezing. Chilly weather will be a shock for many in the eastern half of the country that experienced warmer than average temperatures this past week. The cold system expected to creep into the Midwest ultimately, progressing south and east with time. New York set to drop to 45 degrees on Tuesday. Forecasts show that's not that cold. Temperatures in the southeast Tuesday morning will be 10 to 15 degrees below normal this time of year. Several major cities, Atlanta, Charlotte, Birmingham, Alabama, are all expected to see temperatures drop into the low 30s by Tuesday morning. And based BB versus unchristian Chuck Schumer. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, shares this quote. I think what he said is totally inappropriate, said Israeli-based Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu, responding to comments from unchristian Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, calling for new elections in Israel. Chuck Schumer is normally a staunch supporter of Israel, but he's a liberal. He called based Bibi Netanyahu, who's relatively conservative compared to him anyway, a major obstacle to peace. So said Chuck Schumer. A snake. Haiti, growing unrest in Haiti. Yesterday, the first charter flight carrying dozens of Americans fleeing violence in Haiti landed in Miami. And I wonder if there were any bad apples who came to Miami. The State Department said they'll offer a limited number of flights amid ongoing gang violence that has overwhelmed Haiti and recently forced Prime Minister Ariel Henry to resign. Gangs have taken nearly all control of the capital, Port-au-Prince. The violence has also led aid groups to stop operating, raising fears of a famine. People starving, people getting dysentery or something like that, and dying. What a mess. And marriage is down, but it went up a little bit after a marked drop. And divorce rates are changing too because people are not getting married. So what a mess. The divorce rate supposedly taking a dip, and marriage rates are coming back up after a drop from the China virus scam-demic shutdowns. And some marriage and family experts are saying that couples are more intentional about choosing a life partner and learning how to deal with their issues since they had to face each other when they were locked up in homes. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show. Good morning. Hi, y'all. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE. My brand new biblical question for this week. The biblical question, do you have morals and values? If so, where do they come from? Do you have morals and values? If so, where do they come from? Where did you get them? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy laying up at a beach, smoking fentanyl, meeting the illegal alien at the borders, and bringing the fentanyl into the country to sell them, or drug law, or you beat your husband, your boyfriend right now, you still could be listening to the show by calling the listen line on 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe. We're on Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or Rumble. No, not Rumble. What the? Rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. I'm trying to rush. It's Monday, and every Monday is Female Monday.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
A mess.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies.
Yeah.
We've been lied to for so long.
Amazing. Female Monday, 888-7753-773. And what it means is that We take the latest calls on Monday when they first, be over all the other calls, but we deal with all calls. Let me go quickly back to Austin, a first-time caller out of Florida. Austin.
Yes, sir.
So you were asking, do I think racism will ever disappear? Will it ever be gone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will it ever? Well, not because I know that you don't believe. I don't either, especially not this day and age. But I was just wondering if you think that this generation will ever get it out of their head.
No.
That it is real.
Racism has never existed, never will, so there's nothing to go away because it never been here. And secondly, it's never gonna, the idea of racism, the words racism are set up to control the people, divide and conquer. And until the individual overcome the world, they're going to be subject to that word. But if you overcome the world, then that word would disappear from you as well.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Jesse, do you mind if I just ask one more question?
Yes.
Do you think that Biden was a pertinent thing that we had to have the black minority open their eyes a little bit to realize that the Democratic Party wasn't helping them at all?
No, not at all. He wasn't.
No, you think?
But that's what since it is happening, it seems to be working that way for now. But what's going to take for the black? Are you black?
No, sir.
Oh, what's going to take for the blacks to wake up is that they're going to have to get tired of their suffering as an individual, because their suffering is not coming from without, even though they're being. It's coming from without from other people. They're drawing them into the hell deeper. But their suffering is happening inside of them. And Biden being around or Hitler coming back or nothing can change that. Only thing that can change that, they got to see that they got to forgive. Forgive their mothers, return to their fathers.
Okay, Mr. Jesse. Well, I appreciate your word, man. I love your show, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for your call. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Denzel. I asked Denzel to call back. He is out of Illinois. Denzel, thank you for calling back. Thanks for holding you on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, Denzel.
Hey, man, just wanted to thank you. And also, just from the top, just want to tell everybody who is having hesitations about forgiving their mom, it is the easiest, hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life. Once you do it, you was like, oh, I was really a coward. And after you do it, you get this overwhelming feeling of peace. I mean, it's nothing like any other. Then I went, Jesse, do you remember the last time that we talked?
Never ask a black man if he remembers.
Okay.
So you went and forgave your mother?
Yes.
And it was hard for you to do?
It wasn't as hard for me. I just had a lot, I was holding a grudge, so I knew that. So I knew that was bad. So I kind of went into it with that mentality.
And when you went to her, what did she say?
She looked confused, super confused. It was like, where is this coming from? Because, yeah, I never was the type to, I was like her. I never really apologized for much. I didn't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah.
So I just went into her. It was like, if I ever felt anger or resentment towards you, I apologize. I understand that wasn't you. And then she just kind of tilted her head, was just like, where's this coming from? And I was just like, don't worry about it.
She understood that she was pretending not to. She was lying.
You said what?
She understood where you were coming from. She was just pretending not to understand it.
Yeah. I agree with that. And then I ended up showing her one of your videos, maybe a couple of days later, and she called you a warlock. I was like, how does that even make sense? And then
I told you she understood it too.
Yep. And then she looked at the flag behind you and said that the flag was evil. And then the more I started to peel back the onion, I'm like, wait, are you a liberal? And you start saying misogyny and things of that nature, and I got the hell up out of there. So.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
So you were living there with her?
When I was 24, I was moving out, and then 25, it was almost like a baby leaving the nest in her eyes, and she was calling all her friends and telling her that I don't need to go and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, man. And did you forgive your father?
Yeah, I forgave my father. It was actually his 60th birthday on Friday. We worked out Thursday. We talked last week, and then the day after that, I went to go forgive my mom, and I forgave my dad that weekend, and then my girlfriend forgave her mom the day after that. So we were busy.
Right on. And so now you moved out and everything?
Yeah, I moved out almost 3 years ago now.
Oh, right on. Good, man. Well, stay with it. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah, I actually want to ask you a question.
Yes.
So a day before, I always used to have sleep paralysis. That was always growing up. And then the day before I did it, it was different. And different as in, like, I used to have it a lot, and then I'm used to it, so I'll just, like, go back to sleep. This one was different before the day I did it. And then afterwards, when you do the silent prayer, you are now having an internal battle. And this, I think it was 2 days after, it got kind of crazy. And it, like, had me, I woke up in the middle of the night in a panic. And then I overreacted. I realized that now. And I was trying to wake everybody else up to warn them, like, hey, this pretty much is real, and things of that nature. So it didn't go well. It didn't go bad, but it didn't go well. So I kind of learned my lesson there. But any other tips or foreshadowing of things that might come up and how to deal with those?
What do you mean you're trying to wake everybody else up?
I was just like, because it's like when you are reborn, you like start to notice that everything's a lie, like literally everything.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you look around at everybody, you be like, you're doing things that's like not true. You're believing in things that's not true. So like for a couple of days, it kind of like messed me up in terms of like, I don't know, like trying to just quote unquote save my family members from the hell that they're in. It didn't last that long. I kind of called myself like a day and a half into it. It was like, this is not me. But yeah, so I went on pretty much my mom calls me wrecking ball now because I go in there and just mess everything up, quote unquote. But, well, yeah, so I was just trying to like.
What did your family say to you when you tried to wake them up?
Well, my mom called me crazy. I find that as a compliment because she's nuts. So I was like, okay, at least I'm on the right track. So. But yeah, and then my granddad, and he's a Jehovah's Witness. All I told everybody to do is just forgive their parents, and it's so crazy, like their reaction and their resistance towards it.
Yeah.
And also, I can't be lied to anymore. It's so weird. Like I can smell BS on people now, and I know it's not them. So like, they can't hold eye contact. Like now, like I'm so much more confident. I hold eye contact with everybody. Oh, and I had a evil stepmom. Told you about her, and then I met up with her yesterday, and was just having some friendly banter with her. So like literally, I feel nothing in terms of like hate or resentment.
Right on. The one thing that all people tend to do, it seems that all do this, when they wake up, all of a sudden they become preachers, right? They want to go and save others. Never, ever, ever do that again, because you remember when Jesus healed the man, he said, okay, go and tell nobody. Because Jesus understood that human beings are evil. Their hearts are evil. And when you go and try to wake them up and preach to them, they're going to try to make you doubt yourself. They're going to try to destroy the healing that you have received because their hearts are evil, and the evil can't stand the light. You should quietly just work on your own life, keep it to yourself between you and God. And when there are days or times when you can tell someone or point the right way to them, it's going to point them into the right way. It's going to be the people that want to hear, not those that you've been preaching to. And so it's like throwing, giving the truth to pigs. They don't want it. But you're excited about waking up, and you don't realize you should not be preaching. You should quietly grow and live your own life.
Okay.
And the Word of God would tell you when to tell somebody and when not to.
Okay. That makes sense. I kind of figured that later on during the following week. And then one more question about like kind of being conscious, because I think I'm getting used to the feeling of peace, because it was overwhelming for like the first 4 days, like super overwhelming. And then now I think I'm starting to settle into it. So now it's harder to identify. Like I don't get angry anymore at all. I might get agitated sometimes, but I just silent prayer and it usually just goes away. But,
yeah, when you agitated is anger, but when you do see it, now that you've been separated from it, don't call it you. Just watch it. Watch it. Just watch it. Don't call it good or evil. Don't call it you. And the light of God, the light of God would take the spirit of evil, anger away from you. And after a while, it won't even be in your mind or body.
Okay. And then one more question, because like I had to relearn myself again. I was like, oh, this must be like the actual true me. So yeah, man. Like I'm usually like scheduling everything out. Everything has to happen at a certain time, and like once I was reborn, we just don't. It's just hard to stay to a schedule now. Like we're so at peace, like nothing really affects us. So we kind of move when it's. I don't even want to say convenient, but we don't rush. I don't rush at all no more.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
My girlfriend as well, because she was like a real like.
Oh.
Yeah, on schedule type of girl too. But like ever since we've been reborn, it's just like we just don't care what time we go to sleep. We don't care what time we wake up. Like, how do you go about like having structure with it, but like not trying to control?
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
Yes.
And are you working on yourself during the day?
What does working on myself during the day mean?
Practice being present instead of lost in your head. Thinking about the past or the future and all that.
Yep. As soon as I start to say that, I'll just be like, hey, just focus on this moment right here. Every time it starts to drift.
Yeah. But, practice being present and everything will work itself out for you.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll fall in line with life, and then life will just happen.
Oh, cool. Well, just on an end note, man, if anybody else is having reservations about forgiving their mom or their dad, first of all, it's not that serious. Secondly, I've made more progress in the last week and a half than I had in my entire lifetime, and I'm not BS when I say that. Thank you so much, Jesse. Let me know if I can come visit you. I would love to go fly out to California, go to one of your churches.
Well, be patient and stay with it, man. Just stay with it. And don't put anything or anyone before seeking the truth. Everything will work out.
Thank you so much, man. And
according to Matthew 7:6, it says, do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. And that is what will happen when you try to tell human beings the truth and they're not ready for it. Whether it's family members, your kids, your parents, workers, whomever, if they're not ready for it, they'll destroy you.
Okay, I will keep that in mind.
All right, buddy. Let me know. Right. And good to hear from you. Let me know how it goes.
Thank you, man.
All right. Bye now. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Arizona and talk to Anna. Anna, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you. I spoke with you last week for the first time. I just found you that week. And I had an update and a question about something that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
So I told you, you asked me if I forgave my mother and father. I did forgive my mother. I kind of wish I could go back and do a do-over, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. But with my dad, I realized this week that he did not protect me. I told you that he was my refuge. He wasn't. He should have stood up to my mom, and he didn't. So yeah. I texted him yesterday about calling him, and I'm going to try. Stupid tears. Okay, I'm going to call him today if I can. Why am I crying? Gosh. Okay, so thank you for that. It helped me a lot this week. I have been attacked a lot. Yesterday it was suicidal thoughts, like what's the point of life and all that stuff. So every time that I've encountered those, I've been able to overcome them thanks to you and your suggestions, recommendations. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What I'm dealing with is I'm the people pleaser type. Sorry. Okay, hang on a sec. My ex was with, and still is with, a public school teacher. Was sleeping with her while we were still married, but I mean, I didn't care because we were already pretty much done. And I mean, I didn't know about it after the fact. I don't care that he was. But the thing I care about is that we had agreed to homeschool because I have had the type of job where I could homeschool, and we were talking about it, and I was suggesting different types of curriculum. That's where we were at. And then like a month later, he called to let me know that he had enrolled my kid in school, and as if we had never had the homeschool conversation. Then I found out after the fact that he was with this lady at the public school. She convinced him to put my kid in the same class as her kids, and she's still working there. Now it's been like the second year that he's been there, and it's just, I just don't know what to do, and I just don't like that. I mean, I don't want to, I feel comfortable with him being there because I think my kid can handle avoiding indoctrination, but just her like playing with my kid like he's a chess pawn is so bothersome. I just really wanted us all to be friends. I thought we could go on fishing trips together and stuff. I had no animosity. She hates me. We met one time. It's like I don't know how to deal with her, and I just need to let it go, I think, and just, you know, whatever, but it's still hard to get over that part.
And so your question for me is what?
What should I do anything to fight this public school thing, or should I just leave him there and just, I don't know what to do with this situation and how to navigate around this woman who she's very much like on a mission to push me out forever. I don't know.
So this is, your child is with the father sometimes?
Yeah, my ex lives with her in her house.
Oh, and so which is more concerning for you, that she's trying to push you out or that the child is in public school?
Public school.
But not your relationship with the woman?
Oh, no, I don't. I only met her one time.
Oh, well, how do you know she's trying to push you out?
I mean, push me out of decision making with my son. When I met with her the one time, because they did everything behind my back, no communication whatsoever. I was just trying to address with her, woman to woman, like, I want to have a good relationship. I would love to even be friends with you, whatever. And she told me that when I asked her about, frazzled. I found out that, she was shacking up with him without me knowing, with my son there, and that I brought that up. And she said, well, I didn't think it was any of your business what happens with your son when you're not around. And that part, I just don't know how to deal with that.
Why did you go to her at all rather than just going and talking to the child's father?
I spoke with him. I spoke with him first, of course. I just wanted to mend the bridge, basically, that I felt like she had burned before even meeting me. That's what I want. I wanted friendship and coordination together.
Why?
I just thought, I don't know. I thought that because I trusted her.
Why?
Don't trust anybody.
Here's what I recommend. Since you don't know clearly what to do right now, do nothing about that. Overcome the anger. Let the anger and the thoughts go about it, and I promise you, you will be guided by the light in what action, if any, to take, and it will be perfect.
Okay.
But you got to get past. You got to get past your imagination for now.
Okay. Yeah, my imagination is wild. So
Right.
I do need.
Yeah, that's why you can't see exactly what to do, or if there's anything to do. Period. So work on that. Be patient, and you will see what to do. If there's anything to do, you'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I've already seen so much this week change. This is the only time I've burst into like full on tears all this week. I've had them start, and I've been able to like, oh, this isn't me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep on with it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, stay with that. Stay with that. And you're going to be amazed how things will work out for you. Ways that you can't even imagine at this point. It's impossible to imagine. But you got to continue work on you. And you're doing the silent prayer, right?
Yes, I have this week.
Okay. And don't, as you know, don't believe any thoughts about anything. Because at all, let all thoughts pass about it. And you'll be fine. You'll be able to see what to do with this.
That's one thing. I've been kind of sometimes mocking them, and I know I should just not even respond because they're bullies and they like any kind of response. So I just need to ignore them.
100%. The worst thing that we can do to evil thoughts and feelings is to ignore them. When you ignore them, they don't like it because they know they're going to have to depart. Don't argue with them. Don't pay them any attention. Don't mark them or anything. Just notice them. And the light that is allowing you to see them is destroying the darkness. The darkness is no competition for the light. The light is competition to the darkness, but the darkness is no competition for the light. So give it no thought. A no-thought life is a perfect life. A thought life is a messy, dark, evil life. You want a no-thought life.
Okay. One week down and another one to go. Let's go.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
You're welcome. And stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
I don't love you because I'm a woman, but I would like to.
I know. You do love me now because you don't love me.
Okay.
And it's not because you're a woman, it's because of that spirit of evil that was in you that came from your mother.
Yep, sure did.
Amazing. All right, Anna, stay with it, stay with it. Let me know how it goes, all right?
I will. Amazing.
Amazing. Nice. Amazing. Clifton out of Canada. Clifton, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
All is well, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about peace and stuff because I realized I have a lot of fear, you know, and I just really want to know how to overcome the fear. I forgave my mother and my father, but I still have that. It's as if I'm going to I don't know what it is in particular, but it's just that it prevents me from wanting to do certain things, be myself in a sense, because I'm afraid of being judged or looked at a certain way, or, you know, how people see me, how people view me, you know. So I'm it kind of immobilizes my development in a sense. You understand?
I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just want to know, because I realized that, that by it preventing me to live life and just be, it's I can't fully overcome anger, doubt, worry, insecurities, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I know that all stems from fear. So I really just focus on how to overcome fear. You know.
So here's what you do. First of all, just know that it's not you. The fear is not you. The fear is a false feeling. It's evil. Yeah. It's evil that made a home in you. You've been possessed with that, but it's not you. So don't call it you at all. And if you're at a party and you want to be yourself, be it anyway. If you want to go and say hi to someone, you want to do it anyway, trembling, in your boots, and you will see that it's not you, and it will be taken away from you. Never call fear you again. It is an invader into your home. It's like a homeless person moved in, and they took over your home, and you're forbidden by the law to throw them out. It's like that. But if you face them anyway, you'll be able to throw them out. Face it anyway, shaking in your boots, knowing that God is with you, and you'll be fine. Do the things that you're afraid of doing. Hold on. Can you hold?
Okay. Yeah, I can hold, yeah.
All right, hold on. 888-7753. 773. Back in a moment.
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old. And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Okay, folks, welcome back. Welcome. 888-7753. 773. 888-77-JESSE. The Women's Forum is this Thursday night, ladies. This is the third Thursday of the month. Or ladies only. Oh, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I forgot. Treasure chest is open on D-Live. Ladies Forum this Thursday night. It's the first Thursday of the month. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. Hake, thehakereport.com. And Joel Friday is sitting in for Hake today. So Joel is doing his show right after the Hake Report. He's doing Hake, Joel Friday TV. He black. So he's doing 1, 2, 3 hours today. Amazing. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. Energy, and believe me, he has a lot of energy. Energy given to him by God. The American Anchor Baby. He learned how to fly on Google. You don't want to miss it. All right? If you missed Sunday morning fellowship, go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. And amazing. And check out thefallenstate.tv. Last week's episode was amazing. Everywhere I go, I hear about it. Thefallenstate.tv. All right. Let me go quickly back to Clifton out of Canada. So, Clifton, when you feel the fear and trembling and the noise in your head, just know you've been invaded by evil spirits and it's not you. And go do what you have to do in trembling, and God will save you from. That's what God trying to save you from. It's the fear. It's a thought.
Yeah, and that's what the thing is. Is just that I love how you say how trust the life and just let life happen.
Yes.
Like I feel like that is so fundamentally key, so sound, because it's just that's what it is. I don't trust life. I don't trust that God will have me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm scared of the unknown, right?
Yes.
So because I'm scared of the unknown, I try to like dictate and try to control life. I try to like I want to step in and try to like be in the driver's seat and try to like control and dictate things because I don't trust that if I fall back that someone or something has me, you know? So
absolutely.
That's why I'm so scared. Like I know that sounds kind of beta, but like,
it doesn't sound
truth, like,
it doesn't sound beta at all. It's the truth. It sounds like a man that's trying to wake up. It doesn't sound beta at all.
Yeah, and that's why like I'm so dysfunctional. That's why like I get angry when things don't happen my way. Like I have so much expectations of people and like. And I don't really have like I love how you say like you have no friends.
Yes.
Like you just have people that you enjoy. Like that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, because like I have so much expectations of like say if my friend doesn't fulfill my expectations, then they're automatically not my friend.
Right.
Because I put a label on it. Like I love how you tackle the labels and the words, like you know what I'm saying, the meanings of the words and stuff like that. It's so beautiful because it's within the words is where we get confused. Like,
yes.
We put all these labels on things, and it's the labels that we try to live up to that we can never live up to because we're not these labels. You understand?
Absolutely, 100%. And the fact that now that you started to see that you don't trust God, 99% of the people do not trust God.
Yeah,
they do not trust God. They don't even know what it is to trust God. They are afraid to trust God. It's like jumping into a swimming pool and you realize, hey, I can't swim. And you start to panic. And then you hit the water real hard and you try to save yourself, right? Whereas if you didn't panic and just stay calm, you'll be able to swim all the way across the pool and not sink. But because you panic, that's what the problem is. So stop panicking. Don't call the thoughts you at all, and go and do what you need to do, and you'll see the Father will save you.
Yeah, it's that's why I try to be more like honest now. Like I sometimes I even go out the way I go out the way in order to not lie because I realize that I'm starting to see that if you lie, like you kind of like you go off the path, like of what's for you or how life is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you go. It's like you're lost. Like once you go off the path of like honesty and truthfulness. Like even up to the other day, like I'm kind of unemployed right now. That's why I'm able to call you. I've been a working man like for how long as I can remember. But I'm kind of unemployed right now. So basically, I was signing up for this job, and then they asked if I had any prior convictions or stuff like that, and I said yes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the truth. I never got a call back, but maybe that's just what I'm supposed to like. That's what was supposed to happen. Like how it was supposed to be. Like I'm starting to realize maybe it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's for a higher good. Like I'm in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. Like if I tell the truth and just be honest. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you see what to do in the moment. Because there may be a time where you don't have to say yes on the phone, but when you meet them in person for the interview, the situation should turn out better than what you think. So, but live presently so you see, live in the present so you can see what to do.
Absolutely, brother. I just want to take this time just to appreciate you and like, another thing, if I can just add, like love. Like people love to harp on this word love, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see that what love is you. Like you are love. Like nothing else. Like it's just you. Everybody is love. You understand what I'm saying? Just like how God is love. Like everything is love.
I totally understand what you mean. But you're right about that. You're absolutely right. But human beings don't have love. The human nature is evil.
They don't have love. They are it.
But they don't know that though. They only know the raw nature. They know the fallen nature. They don't know God's nature.
Yeah, and how to know God's nature is like is like to not like the thing you say about knowledge too is like you're so wise, Jesse. I don't know like if you even realized it. Like it's just like the knowledge, like in the intellect, it keeps you away from like God. Like it's like the opposite of God. Like you know what I'm saying? Like because the more knowledge you obtain, the more ego. It just inflates your ego. Like I just feel like it just makes you unable to see like the truth because it just inflates your ego, and your ego just makes you more like you want to be somebody. Like I'm somebody.
Yeah.
And like I love how you say just be nothing. Like you are nothing.
Don't put on any. Don't put on the fronts. Don't put on any acts. Don't try to be like somebody else. Just be nothing.
Yeah.
It's fine to be
so
nothing.
And we've been programmed and conditioned just to like, oh, be somebody. You got to go out there and be something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's how we've been skewed. It's like it's keeping us from ourselves, and that's why so much people are so lost and there's so much dysfunction in the world. It's because we've been taught the opposite of like how to be. Like honestly, I just want to be I just want to be free. I just want freedom. But I have to worry about how this person sees me, how my mom, I have to live up to my mom's expectations, my dad's expectations, and all these people. But they don't even like themselves, and they don't even like me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, no one cares. Like everyone wants to adults like they care. They don't care.
Not at all. Yeah.
And they want to speak about love, and they don't love. It's like they love the idea of marriage and love and family and values. They love the idea of that.
That's all it is, an idea.
Yeah, but when it's actually implemented, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. They spit on it. They spit on it and mock it and shove it in your face.
Yes.
It's like you say, don't throw pearls before swine. It's like they don't want that. They not only do they not want it, they spit on it and mock it, and then they act as if they want it. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense, Jesse.
That's what you call hell. That's hell.
Yes. Hell, and then I go.
Hell is not knowing who you are and yet trying to be somebody.
Yes, yes, and I'm so foolish for going out there and trying to speak these things, and I get mocked and ridiculed, Jesse.
Yeah.
They call me every name in the book. They call me crazy. They call me I'm disgusting. I'm gross. I'm wicked, and all I'm just trying to make them see things because honestly, I've been seeing things to the point where I don't get angry anymore as much. I have fear. I'm not gonna they think that I'm trying to be Jesus or something like that. They think that I'm trying to be more I'm more superior to them. And I'm sitting there and I'm judging them. You know what I'm saying?
That's why now that you've been healed, go and tell nobody. Just work on you. Don't tell anyone because it's like throwing pearls to swines.
Yeah, it's like I overcame smoking cigarettes. I overcame porn. I overcame gambling. I overcame smoking weed. I overcame all these things by just watching.
Yes.
Literally, all you have to do is just observe. Just bring awareness to everything you do. I love how you say when you smoke a cigarette, just watch yourself taking it out of the pack. Watch yourself putting it to your mouth. Watch the lighter you light it with. Just watch all you have to do, I feel is just watch.
That's all you do.
Just watch and detach. Just detach from everything.
Yeah.
I'm starting to even see that the believing thing. You don't even have to believe.
No.
The whole believing thing is nonsense too. Why do I have to believe when I can see it?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why do I have to believe that? Why do I have to believe the sky is blue if I can see the sky is blue? The belief thing is nonsense too. I'm starting to see. I don't know if this is too overwhelming for you, and I don't know if I'm talking too much or I don't know.
No, you're right on the money, man. 100%. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. And I want you to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jesse.
And in closing, I want you to know, as of this day, this moment, never argue with the devil in your head and emotions in your body, and never argue with the devil outside of you, inside of anyone. You don't owe, there's not one human being on earth you owe any explanation to. You owe them nothing. Stop answering to the world. They are evil. You're just communicating with the devil. Two devils arguing. Do not do it.
Yes. Stay present. Stay present.
Stay present.
And aware.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that, Jesse. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Stay with it, man. All right?
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Amazing.
Okay.
888-7753-773. 888-77. Jesse. Jonathan is out of Nebraska. Jonathan, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
All is well, sir.
Hey, so I just had a question, and it's how do I deal properly with my ex-wife?
What do you mean?
So I'll give you an example. And I guess I don't know, but you may ask, have I forgiven my mother and father? Yes, I have. I've gone to both. They both thumped me with some Bible verses and basically looked at me like, who is this kid? And so...
and so the ex-wife is what?
So the ex-wife, so this weekend, we have 2 daughters together. And this weekend, I was over there on Friday, and we were going to watch a basketball game together. And she realizes that, she wants the girls to be able to watch a movie too. So she goes scrounging around, and she finds an old DVD player, and then she looks through her DVDs, and then she looks at me, and she's like, this is why I don't give you stuff. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh, you have all my DVDs. And I'm like, I don't have all your DVDs. I'm like, you've maybe given me a couple, but I don't have them all. Starts cussing, throwing a fit, blaming me for all this and that. And it's like, my girls are standing there, and it's like, you know what? I just looked at my girls. I said, hey, I want you girls. It was her weekend anyway. She invited me over for a movie. I was like, girls, you have a good weekend. Enjoy being with mom. I gotta run, So I left. And because I left, she says that basically I'm a coward and this is why she could never be my partner. And I'm like, I just didn't want to argue, because I hear you continue to say it's just a devil arguing with another devil.
Right.
And I have things come up that the old John would have said, but I just see them now. I'm aware of them, and I'm like, no, I don't need to say them, and really, I don't need to be here. So I got up and left. Is getting up and leaving, was that the proper way to deal with that situation?
That was perfect. And
okay.
And let's say you didn't leave, but since it was her place, you did the right thing. But if you don't leave, don't argue. Let her argue by herself. And she's only getting angry when you don't argue back, because that's the hell in her. That's evil inside of her. And evil needs you to argue back so it can get a false sense of life. Never, ever, 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 ever argue with anyone again. Stop the argument. It's just 2 devils arguing, and they're living off each other. Stop it.
Right.
And so and the moment she started, you're like, oh, okay, see you later, girls. I'm out of here. And don't argue back at all. And now she's calling you weak and all that because she's still trying to get a thrill from you. She needs a reaction.
POS.
What?
She said I was a POS. I won't say it over the air.
Right. But whatever she called you, she's trying to get a thrill. That hell in her need a reaction from you. And that's why she's going to come at you in one way or another. She'll try to be nice. If calling your name doesn't work, she'll try to be nice. Oh, Jonathan, come over for dinner. I'm sorry. And if you go to dinner, she'll get a thrill from that because she'll feel like she has control over you again.
Right. And so we've been trying to work it out, but everything that I've been listening to, and I know by this point now because I woke up, I'm not going to judge her, but I can see that she's still controlled by her feelings and emotions. And like we all can agree on, anybody controlled by feelings and emotions is evil.
Yeah. Give her back the DVDs. Give them all back to her. And don't try to make anything work out. Either it work out naturally or it's not working at all. Because when you're trying to make it work out, that means it's not working. It's not meant to be.
Well, the DVD thing will be where she'll give me my girls' clothes back, and then she'll say, and I know that the girls like to watch DVDs at your house, so I put a DVD in the bag. that she already sent with us. And I'm like, well, I didn't ask you for the DVD.
Well, just say, no, thank you. I'll get my girls the DVD if they want one. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want it when they're with you.
All right. And then I guess, and just in telling you just this little scenario rundown with her, she constantly is saying, no, she wants to work on things, wants to do whatever. And it's like, you don't obey. You don't want to overcome the false you. You don't want to listen to anything I have to say. And you're absolutely rude and mean. Like,
but when she said, I want to work out, don't even respond to that either. Because if she wanted to work things out, she would do it without having to tell you that. She would just start being right, doing the right thing. Don't even have that discussion either.
Okay. I heard a few conversations earlier where a gentleman was talking to you, and you said, well, it's because you like her and you want her.
Yeah, he was trying to save her, not because he wanted Jesus to have her. He wanted her.
Right, and that made me, I had to take a real evaluation of myself and be real and honest and say, yeah, I could honestly say that's probably a feeling I have also.
Probably or is?
That's why it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is, because yes, we have to be honest and we have to say it. Yes, that is true. I do feel that way, and because I feel that way, I'll make excuses for her bad behavior, and I'll make excuses for the hell that I'm living in, just so I can have a thrill to feel good about saying, hey, I got my way, when it's not even what I want anyway.
That's right, nor what you need, and all you're going to ever get is hell as long as you're lying to yourself.
Right. Okay, sounds good. Well, and then one more question. And dealing with my family and my parents, I've stopped doing the try to tell them, and I've stopped trying to do all that. And they just, I mean, they're relentless. They continue on like the other day, my mom sent me some song, and said, I love you. And it's like, Mom, I love you is not words,
Yeah.
And I've asked them not to send me. Not that I don't like. I like.
If they continue to send you this stuff and you don't want it, block them.
All right. Well, that's what's hard too, is because I work for my dad. We farm together.
Still, they don't have to send you songs.
I know, and I've tried to tell them that, and they're
block
like,
them.
and they try to. Well, that's where I'm at. And then they give me the thing where they're stressed, and my dad's got this stuff going on where he's got some clot in his carotid artery, and it's like, I don't want to stress him out, but it's like
it's not you stressing them out. They're stressing themselves. That's inside of them. It has nothing to do with you. That's their world.
I came to that conclusion that was what I found out that to be, is that I can't say that like for my children. That'd be like me saying, man, you guys are stressing me out that I'm sick and stressed. It's like, I would never do that, because that would be inside of me.
He's doing that to try to control you. You have nothing to do with him being sick. You have nothing to do with his stress. It's all in his world. So if he fall out and die, you're like, oh, Daddy died. Good. I own the farm by myself now.
Okay. And then my last question is this has to do with my ex-wife too. So she's supposed to bring him back technically Sunday. But when she gets in her little mood, she just thinks, oh, I'll just bring him back and take him to school. And then my other daughter doesn't have school today, so she keeps her. And it's like, I've already spent enough money. I have full custody of the girls. I'm not going to fret about 3 days. I mean, she gets them 6 days out of the month. I'm not going to fret about that. But is that the correct way to do it too, or do I try to make it?
Don't overreact to anything, because as soon as she see how important it is, she's going to make it even harder for you. Don't let anything be that important to you that you can't let it go.
Yeah.
And so, and don't be caught up with all the petty stuff.
Right. That's what I don't want to be caught up with it again. And then that's where the other avenue the enemy will come at me with, well, it's with your children.
No, don't let somebody else put that on you.
My children, but not a big deal.
Right.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Jesse.
You're welcome. Super Chat.
Super Chats. Joey bought three coffees from Joey. Is there ever a time or place to fear God? ?
Is there ever a time or place to fear God? No. You should always appreciate God. Thank you.
Justice for Fathers on X, watching you on X. I remembered the assignment. Hake knows. I told him yesterday in the chat.
Nice. Thank you.
The assignment yesterday. Jeff Bought 3 coffees. Satan speaks all languages and all evil thoughts and ideas flowing from the mouths of those who refuse to accept Satan's existence, Jesse. Give your guidance on how to rid ourselves of this evil nature. He isn't a creation in our head on the fly of life. He enters anyone at any time. The inappropriateness in any conversation, no matter how small the inappropriateness may be. Jesse Peterson for president. Thanks, fellas. Every day something new. I know Piffy. Jeff, have a piffier day, but God.
Thank you. Amazing. Appreciate it.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Daniel is a first-time caller out of Texas. Daniel, real fast.
How's it going, Jesse? How you doing?
All is well.
Nice to be on your show. I just have one quick question. It's about the pearls of swine. When Jesus said, don't catch your pearls of swine, and don't tell nobody, is that because the people might misuse that information, like from that gift that you saw or that you're seeing?
No, the people, because human beings are evil, their hearts are wicked, they'll try to destroy you. They'll be jealous and they'll try to destroy you. You know what, Daniel? Call me on this tomorrow. I'm out of time now. Will you call me? Can you call me back tomorrow?
Yes, for sure. I appreciate it, Jesse. And thanks for everything you're doing. It's awesome.
All right, thank you, buddy. I am so out of time. The Hake report is coming up now. Joy Friday TV is sitting in for Hey Eblack. And then Joy Friday right after the Hake report, and then American Anchor Baby. Thank you all for your support. RebuildingTheMan.com. I do appreciate it. And shout out top contributors. Who are they there? What?
Coffee Talk Sandra, Aries 1, and Wolf 336. Thanks for the support, fellas.
Right
and
on.
ladies.
And ladies. Thank y'all. I said women form this Thursday night. I'll be back tomorrow, Country Western Tuesday, if the Lord is willing. And the Creek Door Ride. Dan, a first-time call out of Pennsylvania. Somebody just dropped. Pete out of Alaska. Call me tomorrow. I'm out of time, guys. What amazing female Monday. Amazing. Take care.
You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if you don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.